If you have a small space and aren't doing every single one of these hacks, what are you doing? In today's video, I'm sharing some small space hacks that will help you regain at least 20% of the wasted space in your home. Some of these are going to absolutely blow your mind, so let's get into today's video. Hack number one has to do with your bookshelves. People waste so much space on bookshelves. Of course, you could layer books vertically like we see all of the time, but we are not a library. It's okay for you to stack your books horizontally as well. You can stack your books horizontally and vertically on the same shelf. There is nothing wrong with that. Again, it can look very, very beautiful. As long as all of the spines of your books are facing outwards, you will be able to peruse your library very, very easily. The next hack that is super simple when it comes to maximizing that bookshelf storage that you probably just forgot about is you can adjust the shelves on your bookshelves. You can make them work for whatever height you need. I often find that people have things spaced perfectly evenly, which looks very nice, but there are 3, 4, 5 inches of wasted space on every shelf. Why do that? You can have some shelves that are larger or wider than the other ones. It is just going to reclaim some of that space. And for shelves where maybe you don't have enough books to fill up those shelves, so you're just filling it with useless decor. Okay, you should definitely have some decorative accents on your bookshelves, but use storage books. They sell them at Joann. Oh, no more Joann, RIP Joann. But they sell them at Michael's, they sell them at every craft store, they sell them on Amazon, they sell them at Restoration Hardware if you want to be bougie. These are storage books where you can just put things inside of them and it looks like books. You normally get 3 in a set. I'll link my favorite ones down below, but you can stack them on your bookshelves as well. They look like normal books, but they're going to serve as storage. If you're worried about forgetting what's in them, you can label it, right? You can put a little label on the spine so it looks like a book. It doesn't matter, but this is going to be a great way to use those bookshelves as well. You don't always have to use boxes, which again, you tend to have things that are overflowing. They don't look quite as nice. You forget what's in there. This might be a little bit sleeker and a little bit more functional for you. Another hack you should do, whether or not you have a small space, is cycle out your decor. So people do this for kids all the time. They will cycle out toys so that they don't get toy fatigue and they feel like they get new toys all the time, except for it's just the same ones from 3 months ago. Do that to you as well. It's gonna work on you just the same. You should have some decor, some items out on display, and just cycle them in and out. And when you're not using them, store them under your bed with these Underbed containers. You can use shoe containers. You can vacuum seal them and use vacuum seal bags. But instead of trying to have everything out on display, just maximize your storage options. So let's talk about the storage options. So a place people I think forget about, if your sofa is not floating, there's so much space behind your sofa. Most people have their sofa in one place and it stays in that place for all of eternity. So why not hide things behind it? I'm a huge fan of layering art behind sofas because art can take up a huge amount of space in your closets, or at least it does for me. I like to layer paintings behind my sofa for when I'm ready to cycle them out. I can just look back there, see what they are, and kind of be good to go. But they're in a nice safe place, right? Because my sofa is never moving, it's always there, and I'm going to reclaim so much space that I would probably use on them in the closet for other items. Now, of course, we all know about Underbed storage containers. I talk about them all of the time. I have my favorite ones. I like to use them for baby clothes and I like to use them for shoes. But people go, oh, I don't have space on my bed because I have a platform bed, so it's totally closed at the bottom. Well, you still have slats in your bed. I think sometimes people forget for the items that we do not use all the time, it's really easy to lift those slats up, put that storage stuff underneath those slats, put the slats back down, put your mattress back down, and forget about those items. Of course, don't do this for something you're gonna want in a month from now, but you're supposed to rotate your mattress. I think it's once a year. So at the 6-month mark, you can rotate your mattress, take that decor out, switch it, and you'll be good to go. But for those items you really don't use all the time, maybe it's memorabilia that you just don't want to get rid of because your mom told you not to and you're afraid she's gonna yell at you, stick those things under your bed. It's a great place to use that space that otherwise is truly going to be wasted, especially if you have slats. Now let's move into the closet, because the closet is where I feel like we can work a lot of magic when it comes to small spaces. And if you only have a small closet, I promise you these are gonna work as well. Hack number one is to get a trash can that can mount on the wall. And I know you're thinking, what? They sell these at IKEA. I'm showing you an example here. You can use this as a wall mounted hamper, so you're not eating up floor space or closet floor space for your hamper, especially if maybe you don't have a washer dryer unit and you can't throw things directly into the washing machine. But this is going to use some of that vertical space. You can just throw stuff in there and you're gonna be good to go. This same container also worked really well for stuffed animals and blankets. So if your kid has a lot of stuffies, you can mount this in their closet. They can fill them up and take them out as you see fit. And again, it's going to take up space on the wall. And this doesn't have to go in the closet. This can go out in the open as well if you would prefer. Also great for throw blankets. You can take them, you can roll them up really nicely and throw them in there, and it's a great storage option that isn't directly on the floor, because when we're working with a small space, we don't want to put too much stuff on the floor because it's going to add visual clutter, it's going to be a tripping hazard, and it's just a big no-no. Now, if you are a jewelry person, if you are a watch collector, okay, not watch collectors, because the watch collectors are going to eat me up for suggesting this, but you can add a pegboard into your closet. So the back wall of your closet or the side wall where the clothes are not hitting, all I want you to do is add a pegboard. They literally sell these at Dollar Tree. They also sell them at IKEA, and you can use pegs to put your earrings up there, your necklaces, your bracelets, things like that. Now, if you're not a pegboard person, you can also just get like these little command strips. I have these little ones from the dollar store. They do not fall down. They're actually very high quality for $1.25, and you can just hang the things back like that on that wall if you are okay with, you know, attaching that command strip directly to the wall. And you can always hang an additional rod in your closet. You can do a tension rod, you can do a traditional rod, but you can separate your closet to make it more functional for you. If you don't wear a lot of dresses, you don't actually tend to need really long space underneath. So you can actually do 2 rods and maximize space in that way. They even sell these compact step ladders now. I'll link them down below. I don't own one, but I've seen them, and they become like really itty bitty, skinny, like little, you know, like that bus on Harry Potter, like that slim, okay?
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Also, if you're working with a small space, you're definitely going to want to add some type of like peel and stick lighting or motion sensor lighting to your closet so that you can see all these little things that you do, because it's really easy to lose track of all these little hacks because it's not properly illuminated in there. And illumination also helps any small space appear larger. And another complaint I get a lot from clients when they're working with small spaces is that they don't have a place for a full-length mirror. I think the best place to mount a full-length mirror is actually on your closet door, because you can open it up and you can look at yourself and get a full-length view. Every single person needs a total full-length mirror, because there's nothing worse than leaving the house and knowing that the top half of you looks great, but you're not quite sure about the bottom half. It's also going to use a space that quite literally would not be used for anything else, and it's not going to eat up any other wall space in your home. While mirrors can help a home appear larger, sometimes in a small space, if we don't have the perfect place to place it in a room, it actually can just like mirror something really cluttered or really messy, and it's actually going to make your space feel worse. So we definitely don't want to do that. And another closet hack I personally love to do is to use fold down hangers. So these hangers are really great. They can fit like 6 different hangers on them, and they fold down. I like to use this for categories of clothing or for outfits that you wear all the time. If you always wear a tank top with a specific shirt and a specific pair of pants and a specific pair of socks, why not put that entire outfit on one hanger and just kind of fold it down like that? Again, this is going to maximize space. I did this in my closet. This is the before and after. You can see I got about like 6 or 8 inches of space reclaimed thanks to using these hangers, which I think is absolutely insane. This really only works well for somebody who wears a lot of the same color, wears a lot of the same outfits, but I would say about 90% of people repeat outfits, so why not organize them in that way? This is also going to give you a really great idea of the clothes that you do and do not wear in your closet, and will help you parse down your closet and make it a lot easier to live with. And I think belt hangers are a really great addition when it comes to storage in the closet, and I'm going to give you some other uses as well. But if you're liking today's video so far, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and that like button so that I know you like this type of content. But belt hangers are really great, obviously, for hangers. They're also good for purses that don't have sensitive handles. If you have like a leather handle, please don't do this for that, but it's also great for that. It's good for scarves. It's good for anything that really has a loop and can be hung. It could also be used for towels if you don't have a linen closet. You can also use a belt hanger in your shower. So I did a hack like this similar to Dollar Tree recently, but then I found this at Dollar Tree, which is even better. So this is a belt hanger, and basically you can attach your loofah, your foot scraper, anything with a loop can be attached to this. So this is a great way to maximize space in your shower without having to add any bins or something like that, which can really easily fall over or eat up space. Now this one is totally new to me, but they actually have peel and stick trash cans. Again, I'm doing an entire Dollar Tree hacks video, so if you're loving these hacks that are using Dollar Tree products, again, subscribe and be sure to stay tuned because this one is coming out soon. But Dollar Tree actually has these peel and stick trash cans, which are really great for prep or something like that. But if you are someone who doesn't generate a lot of waste, first of all, good for you, you're amazing, great for the planet, but this could be a really good option as well if you don't have a good place for a standalone trash can, and you can just attach it to your countertop or something like that, right? It's not gonna get stuck because you have marble, granite, something like that. And it's a great way to save space and not use space on an ugly trash can. I don't care if you're buying a simple human trash can or what, it's still ugly, okay? Let's talk tech for a second. I think tech can really eat up space in a home Number one thing I want you to do is use a cord management box. It just helps condense everything and make your small space look a lot neater. And it does literally take up less space because it is condensing everything down. I also want you to switch to retractable chargers because you can charge so many different types of devices and they don't take up quite as much space. And then you end up using fewer USB blocks and therefore just having fewer tech supplies overall. Next up, we're going to use the same hack that we used in the closet, but also in our pantry room. You're going to use those little peel and stick hooks for measuring cups, for utensils with loops, things like that. If we don't have the drawer space, we can add these things to the inside of our cabinets and they're much easier to pull down. And I personally don't like to add them to the doors, but actually to the cabinet itself, because the wood is a lot more resistant to the peel and stick than the cabinet. With the cabinet, the paint can come off, but they rarely ever paint the inside of the cabinet. So it's a lot easier to remove it when it's time to move. Now, this hack is gonna cost some money, but it's just a great food for thought. Instead of getting big, bulky appliances, a great small space hack is to just get slim ones. I recently found this toaster. I think it's like 3 inches wide. It takes up no space in my kitchen, and my kitchen countertops, they're busy. I've got a coffee machine, I've got baby stuff. This is really nice and sleek, and it fits in my cabinet super well. I'm one of those people, I don't like the way appliances look. So if you don't want your appliances out on display all the time, but you want to be able to store them easily without using precious space, get something slim like this because it's super easy to store. You can also maximize space in your kitchen by stacking items vertically, but I know sometimes we're worried about hurting those items. So with plates, I just want you to get like a rug pad and put a rug pad in between each of these items to stack them without them hitting one another and scratching the ceramic coating or anything like that. For mugs, for stemless wine glasses, for cups, you can also use these mug stackers to stack things vertically and reclaim space in your cabinetry without having to add a full acrylic riser or anything like that. The next hack I want you to do in your kitchen is one I've shared before, but I want you to use a tension rod underneath your sink. This is going to be a great place to hang cleaning supplies, dish soap, things like that. It just uses space that otherwise would be not used at all because it's just like empty space with no shelf. You can also use Lazy Susans in the kitchen. You can use them in your refrigerator. You can use them on your shelves. You can even use it on your countertop for spices or things like that. Lazy Susans are also really great in the bathroom for perfume, for toiletries, just to make sure you have equal access to everything. This also helps you just like have fewer things because you're more aware of what you have and therefore you're not buying replacements when you do not need them. Lazy Susans can also be really great on your coffee table as well because you can rotate things around. You can have functional items and decor, and you can really change what is front and center at any particular time without having to restyle, find place for decor, bring those functional items back out, figure out where to store them, and things like that. I also want you to pick up a magnetic knife strip. If you feel like you don't have enough drawer space in your kitchen, this is a great way to store knives. You can put anything that's magnetic up there, and you can obviously attach magnets to things that do not have magnets. You can also use a magnetic knife strip in your closet, in your bathroom for things like bobby pins, jewelry, anything that is magnetic, obviously. But this is a great way to get some on the wall storage that's very, very durable, that doesn't involve any type of shelf or something like that. Next, I want to share just some random small space hacks that don't really fit into any particular category, but I'm telling you, these are the very best ones. The next hack is to put all of your furniture on casters, besides maybe your sofa. Anything that can move around, we want it to move around, and just make sure they're casters that have an associated brake, because this will allow you to easily move furniture out of the way to make your small space work for you. The next hack is to get outlet extenders. So these are really great. They can extend your outlet upwards, to the left, to the right. They really can. I think it's like 207 degrees worth of tilt, but this is great because I feel like a lot of people limit their furniture placement to where they can access outlets. So they want to have a TV, so they put their furniture in like the worst possible arrangement, but that's fair. You want to be able to watch How to Train Your Dragon. That's what I watched last night. The new version is very good. And this will allow you to extend an outlet without having to place your furniture in weird places, so that you can actually choose the layout that is the most aesthetically pleasing, but also keep your space super functional. Another great hack is to attach miscellaneous items to the back of picture frames. So if you have like a deep picture frame, I'm talking like 3 inches, 4 inches, you can use command strips to attach things to it. So that could be your remote. It could be some wires, some cords, something like that. You can use cord management strips on the back. You can use command strips and attach things like that to the back of those picture frames so that you don't have tabletop clutter. And so those things are really beautifully hidden without having to add boxes or something to that effect. And the last hack is only one that you should do if you need it. But if you need like a rolling cart to roll things from room to room, maybe you're breastfeeding, maybe you like to do your skincare in the living room, even though those things are stored in the bathroom, or maybe you just want to have one table and move it all throughout your home, get a rolling cart, one of those IKEA rolling carts that are really, really popular. Then I want you to add skirting. They now have one from IKEA that has a lid. You can use peel and stick wallpaper on it. You can use contact paper on it. You can paint it, you can stain it, I don't care. And then you can add some type of skirting on it so that it looks like a normal table, but in fact, it is like one of those rolling carts. No one has to know because you've done this beautiful skirting. So it looks luxe, but it's also super duper functional for your small space and can work in so many different spaces. That's it for today's video. Those are some small space hacks that I know you're thinking, oh my God, Kiva, I gotta run to the store right now and get these items so that I can apply these hacks because they're oh so good. This is going to make your home look so much more put together. It's going to be so much more functional. And honestly, all of these hacks work even if you don't live in a small space, and you are going to thank yourself for doing them. If you liked today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button because I have new videos just like this one every Monday and Friday, and I'd love to have you as a member of our community. But until next time, have a beautiful day.